So the great thing about me right here is the fact that my kitchen looks somewhat clean, but it's just, I perfectly positioned it so you can't see all the craziness going on in the rest of my kitchen. So anyways, wanted to pop in here. I did a grocery shopping today and just wanted to give you guys a couple tips on, I'm gonna highlight 3 of our go-to meals. I have found that it can be really challenging to find meals that are simple and fairly quick, right? Which if I can throw something in the crock pot and forget about it, like I'm all about that life. So it doesn't need to be like 5 minutes, it just needs to be 5-10 minutes to prep. It can cook for a while. So simple, healthy, and inexpensive / affordable. Okay, it's really hard. A lot of times I feel like we're forced to choose 2 of the 3, and most of our lifestyles, unfortunately, healthy is the one that goes out the window because we need something simple and we need something that fits our budget. And then, health is something that we need to prioritize. So it's really hard to find things that are all 3 of those. And I have found a few. And so we incorporate them often. So I want to share 3 of them with you today. First off is spaghetti squash. If you have never tried spaghetti squash, this is probably the most inexpensive, filling meal that you can buy. And first off, I forgot to mention this. Everything I'm sharing with you today is vegetarian, if not vegan. Not because we're vegetarian or vegan, but because 1, meat is expensive, and secondly, we usually go out to eat, I would say like 2 times a week. And we'll eat meat or we'll eat deli meat if we make sandwiches and that kind of stuff. And so I have found that cooking plant-based not only saves us money, but it also is a really great way to up our veggie intake because we don't just snack on celery sticks. So I need to kind of create things that will enable us to get our veggies that don't look like veggies, right? So back to spaghetti squash. If you're not on the spaghetti squash train, you need to get on the spaghetti squash train. It's super versatile. This week, what we're doing with the spaghetti squash is we are making a garlic Asian noodles. So basically, if you're not familiar with spaghetti squash, you poke some holes in it, you stick it in the oven for about an hour if it's a large one like this. And when you take it out, you cut it in half. And then you scoop out the insides, and you want to take the seeds out first. And then you scoop out the rest of the insides with a fork, and it all comes out like spaghetti. And then you can we've made like a chow mein with it before and use it in place of noodles. Our favorite and the easiest thing to do is to whip it up with some pesto. Our whole family loves it. And like I said, this 1 spaghetti squash, which was I think like $2, will feed our whole family and have extras. So this week it's the garlic Asian noodles with the spaghetti squash as the base. Secondly, I do chili often, especially in the fall, because I love chili. And we'll grab like a nice loaf of bread from Panera, maybe a baguette or something to go with it. We don't usually do meat in our chili because, again, meat is expensive. We try to keep things plant-based and inexpensive. But there's a lot of ways that I have learned that you can bulk up filling-wise and just like flavor-wise your chili without the use of meat. So we use a lot of beans. I want to move into dry beans, but for now, we use a lot of canned beans. So we do organic black beans, garbanzo beans, kidney beans. I've thrown in like a chipotle pepper or lime. Chili is one that you can get really creative with and have some fun with. It's one that I love. I haven't done this with my kids because they're a little young, but when I used to babysit, I would make a base chili and then I would portion it out into bowls, and we would have like cooking challenges where everybody would try to make the best tasting chili, and I would put out limes and lemons and different seasonings and spices and cheese and sour cream and things that they could just have fun with and kind of mix it up, and then everybody can have their own bowl of chili. And we would try each other's and rate them and that kind of stuff. And so chili is something that I make a lot. I make it in the crock pot so that it's really just a matter of throwing everything in. Sometimes I don't even saute the onion. If I gotta saute the onions before I put them in, I don't even put them in because if it takes up too much time. And you know what? It doesn't make that big of a difference. at least not in my opinion. So chili is another one that we do a lot, that sometimes I will literally just, I won't buy things for chili. It will be chili night and it will be whatever I find in our cupboard chili night and just go with it. Now, the last one that I will share that we do a lot, I love potatoes. And so we do a lot of baked potatoes. We do twice baked potatoes, regular potatoes, and then twice baked sweet potatoes. So I'll share with you real quick what we do for either of those. With the twice baked sweet potatoes, I love to add cooked quinoa. Quinoa is a great source of protein. Again, we use quinoa a lot because it's plant-based and it's inexpensive, and it kind of takes the place as far as bulking up in place of meat. And again, like I said, you get that protein content. And we'll do quinoa, cheese, black beans, I'm trying to remember, and then I'll do like Mexican seasonings. And so it'll be more of like a twice baked Mexican sweet potato. When we do regular baked potatoes, I have found I love to do, we will sub Greek yogurt instead of sour cream. It has the same kind of flavor when it's mixed in with things. So we'll do that instead of sour cream, which, because again, protein content. And then I will add broccoli. I do frozen broccoli and just steam it a little bit, add that in. If I decide to grab bacon, I'll grab that, but you don't have to do that. Cheese, and I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know, seasonings. I feel like there's maybe one other thing that I can't remember now. But those are three. I hope that this was helpful because I get distracted. Those are three of our go-to meals that I have found that are simple, inexpensive, and as you could tell, versatile. I love versatility because if we had the exact same chili, you know, every other week for 2 months, we'd all be sick of it. So anything that can be mixed up and I can use different seasonings and it can take on a whole nother flavor and flair is really things that we love to incorporate into our regular go-to meals. I would love to hear from you if you have any meals that you have found that are all three of those things, simple, inexpensive, and healthy, that are kind of your go-tos.